been thinking about how it doesn't take much of a change in normal circumstances to really throw you off balance from a comfortable to like a very uncomfortable or fearful situation. And something like that happened to me the other day. I guess it was a little while ago, but it doesn't matter. Where I had taken a day trip out to a nearby city. So I was out a ways away from home by myself, and I was just kind of exploring around and just doing whatever. And nothing happened most of the day. It was all fine. I was in a new and different circumstance, but I was in a car that felt reliable enough, and I had my phone with me. Could call for help if something came up, just anything like that. Just small little pieces of comfort like that when if something should go wrong, I didn't feel completely helpless. And then something happened at night that kind of just really threw me off. And it was right when I was gonna get home. I went out to the downtown area, and I parked, street parking a little ways away. There was a bar I wanted to go to before I left, and so I parked, a little ways away, walked there, and as I was coming back, I realized I didn't know where my car was, and at first I was positive where it was. I thought I knew exactly the way I came, and I walked down that road for a long time, and I never passed the area. And I kept thinking, I'm sure it was this road. If I just keep going a little bit further, I'll find it, because it's definitely this road. And I don't remember it being so far out, but I don't know this area, so I'm probably just remembering wrong. And I just kept going, and I got further out of the main area of downtown. Things started to get a little bit sketchier, less and less people around. It was getting darker. This was kind of at around sunset, so light was limited, and I basically repeated that process. I would retrace my steps. I'd say this is the wrong road, and I would walk back to the central area where I came from and try and retrace my steps and go down a different road. And every road kind of felt like, this isn't right, definitely, but I'm going to try it because the roads I thought were right were wrong. And some other roads, it seemed like it might be right. Something wasn't quite right about it. I would pass something that was familiar, but it might have just been familiar from earlier in the day when I was also downtown. And I just kind of repeated that process a lot. I was just I did this for about a full hour. Go down a road for a ways, kind of get further and further out of town. It would start getting kind of sketchy. I would come back to the center, restart. I'd pull up my maps program on my phone to try and figure out. I had come from this park in another side of town, so I was just kind of retracing my steps and thinking, if I came down here, and these streets are one way, so I would have come this way, and I didn't turn around, I think, so I would have been on this side of the street. And just kind of, I was thinking a lot about it and just really trying to figure out where I could have parked. I felt insane because I knew I wasn't very far. I knew the car was just right around there, and then I was going through, just searching, is my location on? Could my phone have somehow saved where I parked and all this stuff? And it seemed there are ways that can happen, but I didn't have any of the right settings turned on, so I was out of luck on that front. And anyway, I went from just being completely comfortable and just kind of like having a nice day out, doing something new, and was about to go home and go to bed, and then this happened, and I just got more and more uncomfortable. I started getting scared, especially as it was getting darker and darker. I couldn't find the car. I was out by myself in another city, and I would pass police cars just stationed around, I guess just kind of doing patrols and stuff. And every time, I never did this, but I kept thinking, at some point I'm gonna have to go up to them and ask them for help or something. I don't know. I don't even know if that's something they would do, but I just felt like I didn't want to be stuck down there at night, especially once everybody had left and I was just by myself trying to find my car. And I didn't really think anything was going to happen. I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to get mugged or something like that, but just like all these possibilities started popping up in my head. And as it got darker, my phone was dying. It's pretty low battery, so I was like, I don't even want to be on my phone trying to look at a map or something for very long, because it's going to kill the battery. And then that's I already lost the car literally lost the car, and if my phone died, those are my two kind of security measures that made me feel comfortable being by myself in a new place. It's just having those two things, and at that point they would have both been gone. It just really just threw me for a loop. I just went from being comfortable to just being very uncomfortable more and more as time progressed, and just more and more scared. And I just think it's interesting, nothing changed. Really, my car was in the same place that it was. I was in the same place that I was. But the only thing that changed was that I couldn't remember where it was, and I couldn't find it. So it was like a purely mental change. Nothing physical was different. Just something that I thought it was purely mental. Just my car, can't find my car. I'm gonna get stuck down here. My phone's dying. It's getting dark. Something bad's gonna happen. Just kind of all those thoughts started flooding in. And of course, I eventually found my car. It was not very far, as I thought. Not very far down the road. I was just on the wrong road. It was in the opposite direction that I thought it was. So, and as soon as I found it, after at least an hour of just walking around in the dark, I was so relieved, and it just completely shifted back to kind of my safety and comfort mindset. I was back at the car. I had that security measure. I could charge my phone in the car, so that was my second kind of security measure. And again, nothing changed except for just what was in my head, what I was thinking. And it just flip-flops like that. Just comfort to just discomfort, fear, and then right back to feeling okay again. Anyway, it just really got me thinking about kind of the power of thinking, the power of the mind, and just kind of not controlling your circumstances, because the circumstances didn't change, but just in controlling or just affecting how you feel as things, or not as things change, because nothing changed, but just kind of controlling how you feel through whatever situations. So I don't know, I didn't really learn a lesson from that except for to save where my parking spot was, but I just thought it was something interesting. how much that can change just based on your mindset, how much that can affect how you feel.